if you didn't try reply before, and 2, if you already tried reply or you are currently using reply. And I would also appreciate if you include your city and your country, or just our curiosity. It's always a pleasure to learn more about you guys. By the way, okay, I see, 2. So you use reply New Jersey, yes. Another reply user from New York, United States. Vish from India, hi. Okay, Anasol from Tenerife now. Okay, Sofia, Bulgaria, United States, India, United States, cool. Starting using reply Mexico. Hey, welcome to reply. At reply, by the way, cool stuff. Reply was remote from day 1. So even before those COVID times, company started at 2015 and we were remote. And it's always a pleasure just on our team calls. The answers to the question, where are you from or where are you right now, are always a surprise, because team tends to move from one country to another, just changing locations and well, probably someone is living the best life, but just anyone at reply has this opportunity. Canada studies, okay. So I think, yeah, let's start now. And my name is Olivia. I'm CMO at Reply, sales engagement platform for teams. Please welcome my colleague Anatol Kisil, VP of Products at Reply.
Hey guys.
And today we'll have another speaker, Rosie Partman, VP of Sales Enablement at Intero Digital. Intero Digital is a digital agency offering full funnel marketing solutions and a reply happy customer. So Rosie will join us a little bit later today and share her story of how they are using reply and what is the use case they are covering with it. And by the way, during the webinar, please feel free to ask your questions in chat. We'll be happy to answer them. So let me start with an introduction of what reply is. And according to G2, reply is the top sales enablement solution for small business with ongoing upmarket shift. And reply is also recognized among the leaders in sales engagement platform data quadrants by Infotech Research Group. We're also very proud to have such prominent customers. Reply is trusted by SDR and sales teams of more than 2,500 companies worldwide and teams that are automating personal and sales outreach on Reply platform. So today on the webinar, we'll talk about the 7 pillars of sales engagement and why it is critical for teams to have them automated. Need to say that usually these pillars are presented by separate tools on the market. However, at Reply, we're ambassadors of having all of them together on the same platform, and we're ambassadors of all-in-one approach in sales engagement. So as you see here, we see these pillars as follows. It starts with prospecting, then goes email deliverability, multi-channel engagement, scheduling automation, KPI tracking, intelligence and suggestions, and integrations. We consider these pillars to be critical for automation in sales engagement for SDR teams. During this webinar, we'll talk about all of them. And Anatol, what is your point of having all of them together on the same platform?
Yeah, thanks, Olivia. So over here on Reply, we kind of feel that BDR SDR teams are a little bit overwhelming with the number of tools on the market right now. And it's actually draining their time and, let's say, resources and focus when you have to switch between multiple products, between multiple tools, et cetera, et cetera. So we kind of maybe pioneered maybe one of the adepts of all-in-one approach. So we would like to provide as many tools and as many cases as possible that will be easy and simple to use for SDR, BDR teams on one platform. And in a nutshell, what we're trying to achieve is make sure that essentially your team only need platform like Reply and your CRM, and they work together in sync like perfectly. And this is very seamless experience. So a couple of examples I can give you is, for example, if you need data, if you need to source your contacts, your lists, it's in there. If you need engagement in multiple channels, if you need, for example, email is there, if you need, for example, calls are there, if you need LinkedIn or LinkedIn fully automated, it's also here. We will talk about this a little bit later. If you need calendar management or booking experience, it's also here. If you need like seamlessly integrate to any app in your ecosystem, we can provide this. So pretty much all-in-one approach, save your time and allow more time on essentially prospect and less time and less hassle on working with multiple tools that have to be integrated, synced, etc., etc. Olivia?
Yep. Want to add less destruction, more budget saving, especially critical for 2023. So let's start with prospecting. One of the most important steps of setting an SDR function is to specify a lead qualification definition. What is a sales qualified lead? What is a qualified lead? According to Gartner, there are two batches of lead qualification: demographic qualifiers and behavioral qualifiers. That being said, for demographic qualifiers, there are two of them: company variables such as company size, industry, and geography, and context role. Emphasize what person does as opposed to their title. Behavioral qualifiers depend on the target markets. In some companies with large lead flow, these are critical, but in companies with low lead flow or targeting small business, behavioral qualifiers can be optional. But for behavioral qualifiers, what is important, and actually it is quite correlate with BAN's approach, it is the willing to meet with sales, the pain and need, timing or urgency to decide and make on this solution, and if there is actually a budget. And one of the most exciting parts that I'm super happy to share today is that Reply data is the new product that will be available to all Reply customers starting from December 15. Free of charge, up to 10K records per month. This is our anti-crisis offer for 2023, one of them. And the database already contains 107 million contacts, and we expect its growth at 10% each month with relevant updates. So when you consider your next data solution, please think about Reply as, again, all-in-one approach. The data is on the same platform as your sales engagement and other pillars. So December 15, please remember, free of charge for all Reply customers. Then the second pillar, email deliverability. And I really like this winter holiday picture. You can have a hand-picked audience. You can have the best relevant messaging in your emails. But because of the failed deliverability, you'll receive low outreach results. Like on this picture, the Santa won't deliver presents because he's not in good fit, he's a bit fat. So, and he's not prepared for a pipe diving, yeah. So again, at Reply, we have a solution. We have email warm-up that prepares your email account for outreach and ensures high deliverability for your campaigns. The best part, emails will be delivered to the inbox. You build a solid sender reputation, and you can safely scale your outreach, which is really important to rely on outreach channel. And the key thing about email warm-up is how it works. We use a trusted network of real inboxes. We use real peer-to-peer sending with no free or temporary email accounts, so it's really safe and 100% automated. So if you're interested, please check email warm-up, which is on Reply platform or available via the link. The third pillar, multi-channel outreach and follow-ups. It's really hard to say that right now you cannot rely on one channel, and it's kind of a truth for a lot of industries and a lot of businesses. At Reply, we see that there are such top sales outreach channels, and they stay more or less the same for a few years, 2 years, I can say for sure. So email, phone call, LinkedIn social touches, SMS, and personalized videos. These are the main ones, and it's very critical to decide what is the mix of channel will work for your specific business and your specific use case. Also, according to Gartner, if you reach out to individual prospects or small business, your outreach sequence should have at least 12 plus touches. So it starts with 12 touches. But if you target mid-market prospect, you'll have at least 35 touches in multiple sequences to reach out to them. Also, another interesting data from another analyst agency, the Bridge Group, that sees the difference between desired communication methods for different roles. For sales roles, as you can see, there is a predominant channel. The predominant channel is email, then goes phone calls, LinkedIn, and one-on-one video. For marketing, email is even more important. The most predominant channel, like marketers really prefer to communicate via email. And I was really surprised with the second channel, which is mailed letter or SWAG, which I think refers to marketers' curiosity to stay top of the trends in terms of, those cool swag types and what to bring to conferences. Well, I personally enjoyed that. So I think this is, it feels like truth. And for executive roles, we see, again, email is #1 channel, then goes one-on-one videos, LinkedIn, and phone calls. So when you target specific roles, please make sure that you know what are the channels that actually work for them, where these people stay and what they check. We have another statistics at Reply. We target small and medium businesses, and the channels that work for us are automatic email, phone call, LinkedIn, then goes manual email and video, which brings super personalization to outreach campaigns, and only then text messages, but still we also incorporate this channel. And another exciting part of this webinar, another product announcement, is that LinkedIn automation, 100% automation, is out of beta already, which means that it is another fully automated channel to incorporate to your sequence. Reply has manual and automatic emails. Automatic emails is #1 in terms of usage at Reply. Then we have semi-automated and fully automated LinkedIn, and the same with SMS and the rest of the channels. So right now you are able not just use LinkedIn as, well, some separate channel for communication, but actually mix it with the rest of the channels to create a unique experience to reach out to prospecting customers. And what I like about LinkedIn automation is that you create a step which uses the same rules as email step. I'm referring to using variables that will be automatically changed to contact's name, which makes it really reliable in terms of using for automation. And I'm passing mic to Anatol, who will be showcasing LinkedIn automation in more details. Anatol?
Yep, thanks, Olivia. Can you enable screen share for me, please? Amazing. So I suppose you can see my screen, everyone. This is live product. So we have over here like one of our templates. As you can see, there has multiple number of steps. leveraging different type of channels. As you can see, this is LinkedIn manual, for example. This is automatic email, calls, another LinkedIn manual, but we have much more of them, as Olivia already mentioned. So pretty much everything you have in reply has two modes. So you can use email in both automatic and manual mode. What it means, they either go out, or you can like adjust this by executing, like, for example, in Chrome extension right before you send out. The same we provide with SMS, so you can use reply in both manual and automatic modes. And one of our new additions this year, this is expansion of our LinkedIn channel. So for years, we've been able to use, for example, LinkedIn in manual mode when you go and execute it. And this year we provided full automation as well. So that way you can choose, let's say, your level of automation. We see your level of personalization or sensitivity to compliance stuff, and choose, let's say, either automated or manual or some mix of both ways to leverage LinkedIn channels. As you can see, you can create this step. You can use multiple variables as you would use with different steps to personalize this experience. You can rely on your team, or let's say our community templates. You can, for example, change this accordingly to patterns you need, depending on, let's say, type of message. We will show you this would work or not work. So it's quite a simple experience. You could see a preview right over here. Once you have this step and you incorporate it, for example, in your sequence, you have to be aware about, for example, the volumes. As with email outreach and, for example, email warm-up, you had to like hit the stride slowly. For example, we learned some around 30 messages per day per one LinkedIn account. So you would ramp up slowly, and we make sure that you will be both inbox in LinkedIn and also quite safe from using your personal LinkedIn account or your corporate LinkedIn account, because they're quite reliable tool for this your social strategy for sure. Once you, for example, has the LinkedIn set up and running, the next step will be analyze how it performs, and we help here as well. So we tape in a lot of metrics from LinkedIn. As you can see, you can, for example, take a look and see number of automated connections sent. You can see how many, for example, you send manually. You can see the replies for both of them. We can even provide you like stats on manual profiles, on automatic profile, views on likes, and so on and so on. It's quite easy to navigate. You can, for example, disable some of the channels and just or some of the type of activities in LinkedIn and analyze, for example, let's say only connection. You can see in this case, let's say number of sent manual connection, automation connection, accepted connections, and so on. Also, what we can provide you with is analytics about your team members, how they perform in terms of your LinkedIn outreach, how successful they are, whether they conversion rates, or the same through LinkedIn channel, for example, for your specific, let's say, sequences, depending on the topic you use. Yeah. Once you like, and also like, if you're not familiar with reply reporting, is quite extensive, customizable, so you can slice and dice this data based on prospect profiles, based on, for example, who does it, on a company size, on a specific company, on industries, and everything you need to figure out what's working and not working for the specific, let's say, role, persona, and so on. You can filter out by specific LinkedIn or team members who outreach it through a specific LinkedIn account to see if the reputation of this account affects the results of the channel or not. So there is a lot of to get results and to get understanding from running your LinkedIn automation on reply. And the beauty of this is because it's on one platform, we allow you to understand how your different channels perform. So you can go in and take a look, let's say, what is the best channel, or what do the channels generate the most replies for you, for example? What is the, let's say, reply rates for them? Or for example, what channels drives your meetings? Like, what is your bidder? Is their team most booking through? So let's say through LinkedIn, or automatic email calls, whatever you're using. Also, it's not about like only efficiency, it's also about volume. As you can see, for example, in this account, we mostly relied, let's say, on automatic email. But in terms of conversion rate, you can see like this is like the date, there's a low amount of data, but for example, you can see that the conversion rates are quite different. Yeah. And then this ability or capability to understand what channel works, for what purpose, for what case, for what sequence, or even for what location. This is the power when you have all of this in one platform and can like try it and figure out what works for you, and then replicate and scale this both like in manual mode if you have like bigger SDR team, or in more automatic mode, for example, if you have a smaller and more tech-savvy team, let's say. So that's about our LinkedIn automation that's currently, as Olivia says, out of the beta. Olivia?
As well, we have one question from Yanina. She asked, how do we manage the risk of being blocked on LinkedIn when using automation?
Yeah, that's a very reasonable question. So how we do this? We do this by controlling volumes. So essentially, we all knew, like I suppose knew, but we inside of Reply knew the volumes LinkedIn kind of save. So the more warmed up your LinkedIn account, the higher the volume with Sales Navigator, they're higher. What we figure out during like our long beta experience is essentially the threshold we're not allowing our customers to go over. And it's roughly around 30 messages or connection requests per day. This is very simple stuff. If you add this limit or lower, you are pretty much safe. If you have not new account and you have like a couple of years under the belt, this LinkedIn account, you will definitely be the same. This is like separate limit, say per week, it's around 150, but if you kind of under this 30 messages per day limit, you will be safe. If you try to overreach this, you can get in trouble. And for example, we have run-ins with some accounts who try this. So we'll figure it out. This is pretty much the safe spot, the safe place. So this gives you an also automation power. But if you do not want to do this, you can do the like manual mode, where essentially you can decide how much activity you do. But this will just include like your manual going through our home extension on LinkedIn and send out invites one by one, which is also like completely fine way of working, because that way you can see like maybe the less news about this prospect or something else that can catch your eye, and you can do like this instant personalization at the spot that give you like in some cases higher conversion rates, let's say, at the cost of spending time for manual. Olivia?
And another question, sorry, Anasol, we can leave you right now. Another question is from Alexander. Can I track how many interactions I need to get a client to reply and get to a meeting on average?
Can you repeat like the essence of the question? So like
how many integrations there should be to get a client to reply and to a meeting on average? So interactions before going to a meeting.
Oh, you mean interactions?
Yes, right.
Sorry. Okay. So this is essentially what Olivia talked about a little bit previously, like touch points. So from what we're seeing, it depending on a couple of things. First, it depends on your on the product or service or event you're trying like to sell or reach about. For example, if you have, let's say, recruiting case, this will be much lower. Let's say like 5 to 7 is pretty much sweet spot. If you, for example, has a bigger customer or product that costs a lot, there will be a huge number of touch points. Sometimes for enterprise customer, this could be hundreds of touch points over a long period of time. Let's say in SMB space, it's usually 10 to 15. If it's in mid-market, like 30 to 40. And it usually takes multiple channels, multiple efforts. And like one of the insights that we've seen and other experts in the market is essentially persistence. So you're not giving up after this initial, let's say, 7-step sequence. You keep doing it until you get to the point where you have a deliberate or definitive answer. Either your prospect or your targeted customer do not want to proceed, or they are not ready, or they are ready and want to talk to you. Because the people just give up too early. That's the overall message we have. Okay? And
another question about LinkedIn. Since it's, how do you have some data showing the tests you did? Since about the question is from Yanina, and LinkedIn automation, which is kind of, it sometimes can be risky in terms of LinkedIn policies. It would be good to share it with our other clients as well. Like, how can we convince the sales team to use LinkedIn automation at Reply?
That's very easy. You can just try it out, set limits for very low, let's say 5 a day, and take a look at it. And that's almost like no downside approach, because with this volume, you never get in trouble, like pretty much guaranteed. But you can see how it works. You can see, will it work for you? If you're okay with it, you just ramp up volumes. So if you, for example, want to showcase it, like you say, your agency, and you want to, let's say, leverage reply automation and show it to your customer, just use your account. Just like connect your account for some cases and show them the results, show them your LinkedIn, etc. It's working, and so on, so on, so on. So that's, like, from my standpoint, that's the easiest way to convince based on just results.
Okay, let's proceed with the slides. From my standpoint, it just LinkedIn automation as the channel, it should be treated some sort of, you know, when we were talking about email deliverability and this warm-up process of preparing your account, just treat LinkedIn somewhat similar to that. Your account should be warmed up first, then you can increase the limits. Basically, at Reply, we don't have LinkedIn warm-up functionality. This is kind of just another idea to consider for Reply platform, but just start really with little volumes, and it's super easy, and it can be an ongoing process. You can proceed adding people and increasing the limits, and then get to the number of contacts and messages per day that will be sufficient to show the results from the channel. And I cannot mention that if you're interested in learning more about Reply LinkedIn automation, fully automated this time, please book a demo. And I also ask William, please add a link to demo in chat for convenience. We will be super happy to show you how it works and address all possible hesitations and questions about that. But let's proceed. The next pillar that we were already mentioning, and that is, again, it's not less important, is the scheduling automation. Well, all SDR and salespeople know that when you receive this, okay, let's meet, okay, let's have a call, then it takes some time, a day or two, to figure out what time works for you this or next week, time and date. And this is kind of bad practice. Definitely automatic meeting booking through email is what should be implemented in any SDR team, in any process, whether it's for inbound leads or cold outbound. It's just that easy. Automatic follow-ups and reminders. At Reply, we, apart from having automation for meeting scheduling, there are automation functionality triggers that allows you to, once the meeting intent is identified, you can send this prospect to a particular sequence when the link will be automatically sent to a prospect. So the meeting will be booked on his or her side very easily. And CRM integrations, of course, this is just about the tracking of SDR and sales efficiency to sync data back into single source of truth and understand what channel brings the best meeting results, and I'll show you how many meetings are booked per week or per month. Need to say that lead to actual meeting conversion rate is almost 80% on average with automated calendar booking meetings. Just keep it in mind next time when sending those emails about what time works for you next week. So this is how scheduling automation looks like at Reply. It's well, super intuitive. It's just right in your Reply accounts. In settings, there is a tab for meetings. So the link can be easily included into your, well, whether email or LinkedIn staff, wherever you decide. And don't forget about triggers and automations to create a fully automated flow of sending a link to a meeting to prospect that is ready to talk and sending a follow-ups, making sure that they actually won't forget about the meeting afterwards. Then another pillar for KPI tracking. Again, Gartner, well, our trusted source of information, says that and classifies metrics for SDR team as operational and strategic. For operational metrics, these are number of calls per day, email open rates and response rates, voicemail response rates, meeting booked by team member and by channel. These operational metrics, we see them tracked in sales engagement software. As for strategic metrics, these types of metrics are usually tracked in CRM. And this is kind of critical to have integration that sync both strategic operational metrics to CRM to have all of them together. For strategic metrics, we have pipeline, total pipeline sourced by SDRs, percentage of pipeline sourced by SDRs, closed business from qualified leads, number of qualified leads passed per month, and qualified leads, sales accepted leads. At Reply, among our recent product updates, we have improved dashboards, improved from team standpoint. This specifically is the team performance dashboard that shows operational KPIs of team and individual performance metrics. The report displays performance of each team member, number of booked meetings, sequence contacts, meeting conversion rate, touches per contact, which is another clue what should be changed in your sequence to improve the results. And by the way, both automatic and manual, all these types of steps are tracked in our reports, as well as the average response time. Okay, let me check the chats. What is going on there? Do I get the recording after? Yes, sure, yes. Okay, yeah, there will be recording, of course. And well, I think this is the most exciting part of the webinar, since Anatol is going to present the power of AI that we were able to implement in Reply. And I hope that shortly, till the end of this year, it will be released to Reply users. Anatol, mic to you.
Thank you. So everyone, Olivia, again. Okay, thank you. Thanks everyone. I will show you a couple of interesting new things. That's actually the platform we really talked about the data inside of Reply. As you can see, this is what's coming next week. This is fully fledged contact search, including mail, phone numbers, etc., for quite a big database that we incorporate in Reply and will be providing to all the customers. So when we're talking about multi-channel approach, you need this fuel to fuel your sequences, your campaigns, your outreach, etc. We all understand this. Earlier, we provided this through our home extension working with LinkedIn. This is completely new experience that would add to this. So you'd have multiple options. So this is completely standalone that can give you an tap-in or runway for your engagement for a long time. So we'll work on this, improve this going forward and so on. But also one of the, as I say, beauties of when we have all of these pieces together, we can provide you with tools that can give you a different dimension, for example, that can give you an inspiration, that can give you a better results or save tons of times with the how you're working right now. So one of these is a new experience we're developing, and also that will be available like in parts. So for example, in beta, it will be available from next week. And in the end, once it's like going through all of the development, beta, etc., this is what like this. So pretty much you would have a starting experience, or for example, you can create a new sequence just by using essentially our GPT-3 engine. So how this would work. You already may be aware, maybe not, we have text generation capability in reply that help you with text, that help you create a sales copy or event-based copy, etc., etc. Previously, it was on the text. Right now, we integrated three components of essentially creating engagement sequence in one place. And these components is copy, is essentially steps or selecting channels for particular case. And it's also adding the fuel to this. So who you would target, your persona, your contacts. And it's all right now will be leveraged in one step-by-step experience. Our target, pretty much, you will be able to create actually like the sequence you can use in 5 to 15 minutes. It is like drastically quicker than previously when you need to do this, let's say, try copy like multiple times, when you, for example, had to source contacts from different sources, create this list, add to the sequence, and so on. When you had to, for example, add multiple steps, one after another, creating copy, etc. It's still all here. You will still be able to customize this experience. But this is our way to essentially trying to simplify work with their BDR teams, or to give an inspiration for more powerful users to do stuff quicker, and essentially to scale better and to have like AI help you in a process. So Olivia, let's select a topic. What would you want to, or who you want to target, what you want to talk, what would you like your sequence to be about?
Okay, I love this part, really. It's just about the creativity. Okay, so I want to invite sales development leaders to the next Sales Development Excellence Conference that will happen in October 2023.
Okay, I want to invite sales and let's say marketing leaders to next reply.io
Excellence Conference, yeah.
In
October 2023.
2023. Okay, let's see what our new friend can do for us.
I think on this spinner, there should be like magic is happening.
I'm still not sure, but we should try it out. Okay. Okay, so let's take a look. So hi, I hope you're doing well. And then that is a place where your variable you will go. So essentially, if you have like custom variable in reply, let's say someone, so for example, it could be title of either contact owner or sender, like whatever you do, or in some cases you, let's say, could just put in like your title directly if it will be like from you specifically. It will be text-based platform used by other companies for a while. That's interesting. We're hosting our next Sales Excellence Conference, and for you to be there. This unique opportunity for you to learn. Now, as you can see, this is completely okay. Like probably I can use it with some additions. So this will be, let's say, linked to the event. And that's pretty much it. I definitely can use this. And also, as you can see, we instantly figure it out. So this is event case. So for example, if you remember at the start, there was a sales case, and we can work with multiple of them. So the AI can recognize what you want to talk about and craft your copy according to this. So it could be event invite, it could be sales pitch, it could be recruiting, it could be working with influencer, it could be onboarding for customer success, for example. If you're raising, it could be investment. Let's say if you go into partnerships, it could be cooperation stuff. And also you can see that it doing not so bad in terms of our initial scoring, but it's not perfect. Like no AI is perfect. So let's say we can see, for example, there is a little bit too much word that can trigger some spam filters. So you, because you're in a process, can look at this and can tweak it. You, for example, or me, let's say, can say less salesy words, for example. So less marketing, less sales, less you, and it's also here. So we're showing you this ability. So this is the power of being assisted at the same time and showing what work and what not work. That kind of cool here. Okay, so let's get to the next step. So on the next step, what we would do is we would ask you, let's say, who you want to target within the sequence. Let's say we would target would be of marketing roles. Olivia, what kind of size of the company would you prefer?
Okay, let's try 201 to 500.
Okay, so let's try it out. And what kind of industry?
Okay, let it be tech companies.
Okay, so let's try computer software. Software
always works for us.
Let's see. And if you like, you can see you can share this experience if you want to. For example, once it's available next week in beta, you can share it with your colleagues, try it out. You can share it with someone else to just sign up and try it. It will be available on our trials, I believe, as well. So okay, let's generate the sequence. Okay, so as you can see, it's already generated sequence. And this sequence, as you can see, is different channels. Again, so we use email, we use calls, again, email, LinkedIn, and so on. And from this sequence, as you can see, this is the first step, but we also generated all follow-ups for you. So we, for example, generated a script for call. We generate follow-up for the next step, like I wanted to connect, I didn't get an answer on my previous emails. Actually, in this case, it's kind of making an error. So this should be a mail, but it's also the beauty of it. So you can try it out, you can change it right on the spot. So it's just helping you. It gives you an idea how, for example, event sequence can look like. If you didn't like this, you can go back, let's say, and change some text and regenerate. It would create a new text, and also you can create a new sequence. So you can use it repeatedly until you're happy, or just use it as inspiration and pretty much tweak it for your needs. And also, why this case is important? Because the AI will generate different type of recommended sequences based on these cases. So they will be different. So the sales sequence would have specific number of steps. The recruiting sequence usually would have like smaller number of steps, and so on, so on. Okay, so let's get to this step.
And the more information you provide at the beginning about what you want to do with the sequence, who you want to target, the better the output will be from the magic sequence.
Yeah. So pretty much, as you can see in the next steps, there is again, like I just following up. So it's understanding and all of this context based. So the next steps are generated based on previous steps. This is, as again, not ideal, but you can try it out and you would see how quicker it is just to work with already with some like meat, let's say, instead of crafting this all from the zero. Okay, and the next step, as you can see, we already populated the sequence with data from our database. Sometimes like the much is working okay. Sometimes if you didn't have, for example, more roles within specific region or specific, let's say, company size, we would select like nearby area, like nearby target area. Again, this is early part of the stack, but you can see the premise. So essentially in 4 very quick steps, like in 5 to 7 minutes, I've been able to set up all I need. And let's say this, it's already pre-populated in reply. You get an email from our database if we have phone, and you, for example, on this new data product, you would have phone as well. We would have title, LinkedIn, etc., etc., etc. So it's already pre-populated. And then normally, yeah, sure.
We have 2 questions in chat. I would like to ask you to answer them, like in chat, not personally here, since we're just to stick to the timing.
Okay, let's do it. Can you like read them and I can answer them?
No, can you answer in chat?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so what tech you're using to facilitate magic sequence, GPT-3 or ChatGPT? Oh, this is a good question. So we're using specifically tuned GPT-3 model. Does this offer apply the previous GPT generator? No. So you would have inside of steps in a sequence, once it's generated, the previous version of our GPT generator. This is completely new model. It's more powerful. It can do, as you've seen, multiple steps, and it also has a detection of these cases, but it also provides context for generating sequences. So essentially, this is next level of our work on our like GPT generator. This is the answer. And as I see in my account, yeah, so it's not rolled out yet. This will be with the next week release, and in next week release, very quickly, we would have pretty much 3 key pieces of tech that will be available in beta and closed beta. And these 3 pieces of tech is our new data, as you've seen right now. This is the magic sequence experience. And also we would have a new unified inbox in the main page at the top that allow multiple team members to answer to incoming messages through email channel within one inbox instead of doing it in sequence by sequence. So this is 3 key pieces of the tech we roll out next week, and then you can play with it, like take a look how it works, etc., etc. That's pretty much it from me. Olivia?
Thank you, Anatol. And right now I want to pass mic to Rosie Partman to share her story and the story of the company and the reply use case. Rosie?
Thanks, Olivia. Great presentation to you both. Thank you, everyone, for joining today. I just wanted to share how Reply.io has changed our sales team. I work at a digital marketing agency, and I've been doing outbound for about 8 years now. So I wanted to share with you some of our results that we've had. I'm going to share my screen. All right. Can you see that all right? I hope so.
Yeah, all good.
Okay, great. So the success that we've had with Reply.io, like I said, I've been doing this for about 8 years, and I'm the VP of Sales Enablement. So we've tried everything under the sun. Any outreach platform, you name it, I think we've tried it. So the platform we were using before, we were having around 14 to 20% open rate. And now that we're using Reply.io, we have about 20 to 50% open rate. And I want to preface, this is all dependent on the type of drip that you're doing, whether it's to a cold prospect or you're re-engaging a warm prospect. But for our very cold prospects, our average is around 30. So that's really good open rate, in my opinion. Our reply rate before we were using Reply.io is around 0.5% to 5%. And now it's around 2 to 25%. We have those crazy outliers that are even higher, around 50%. But again, that's usually with warm prospects. So I would say our norm for cold prospects is around 2 to 8%, which is still really good. The big things that stand out for me as a user for Reply.io, I think the usability is just really simple. It's really easy to learn. The interface is just very friendly. So the sequences, you know, as our friends have mentioned and Olivia, the sequences are just so easy to automate. You can set your cadences, just really simple. You can use specified schedules, or you can use a team schedule and have your emails sending out exactly on the hours that you want them to send out. You can see the, you know, where the person is that you're delivering the email, so they can go to their time zone. So writing the email templates is super easy, as you saw. It tells you what the spam words and, you know, how long it is and if it looks like a good email. And so I use that just to write my emails usually. The tech part of it is really awesome, which a lot of platforms don't have. They have branded links, so we can easily get into the inbox. If you have had so much experience with outbound, we know getting into the inbox is half of the trouble, so that is a huge help. And then overall, they just have amazing support. I actually emailed support last night and got a response back early this morning, and we solved the issue, and it was a user error. We're still learning every day. And I've been using Reply.io for years now, so this is years of experience with it. And I love the Salesforce CRM sync. If you're on Salesforce, it syncs really well. You can just bring in the prospects that you want to bring in and target them. You can bring in everyone. And now there are even more sync options, so you can really have additional data within your reporting. You can follow that prospect through the full pipeline if you do your other reporting in Salesforce. And the Chrome extension for LinkedIn is really cool. You are looking at a prospect, you just pop it into Reply.io, and you're ready to go and put them into a sequence. So really, I love Reply.io because it's just the full suite. And if you've used all these other outbound platforms, I'm sure you've had to kind of piece things together. I love that they have the email warm up, because we all know we can't email off of a brand new domain and hit inbox. The validity checks are great. You know, you can go out and get third-party validity checks, but because it's just all in here, it will tell you before you accidentally send to a big list of prospects that you haven't confirmed validity. Oh, my lights just went out. The room is censored. And then the LinkedIn automation, which I'm really excited to use. I haven't jumped into it fully yet, but I can't wait. And then just the AI on the messaging. Again, reporting is super easy and customizable. But you guys, this is why I talk about Reply.io. This is why I use Reply.io. Our average year closes over $4 million in lifetime value of clients. And this is closing. So I don't even know how many go into the pipeline. I should probably grab that number, but this is actual closes for cold prospects, you know, over $4 million just a year that we generate. Let me try and get these lights back on really quick. All right, I'm back. And so I'd like to just share with you why we use Reply.io, just besides of everything else, just what kind of clients we're going after and how we get the best use of it. So I'm with Intero Digital. We are a digital marketing agency, and I'm the VP of Sales Enablement. So like I said, I've been doing this for about 8 years, and you've used pretty much every platform under the sun. And we write drips to gain clients that need paid media help, SEO, content marketing. Everything that you see here is what we provide as an agency. So we have clients, small and large, but we have a really defined ICP. And I think that that is really important. I think Olivia mentioned this, you know, going after a target audience who is, you know, going to be in your ICP is really the most important thing to start your campaign. You want to reach out to people who can use your services. So we service SEO, and I think that's a really easy way to start the conversation So that's usually how my templates start, is, with the service of SEO, because who doesn't need SEO? Every single website needs SEO in some way, shape, or form to help their organic search. So that's usually how I start my emails. And then I'll do emails around paid media, because I love that saying, fast money gets fast friends, right? So if we're able to get a client, really great return on investment right away, then that's usually where we love to start. And then we just determine if they need some other services. Other services are the long game. So usually I don't start our marketing campaigns or outreach campaigns with them, like content marketing and PR and creative, even though those are very instrumental. Like I said, I like to start my drip campaigns around the SEO and paid media services, because most people have a good understanding of what that does for their business, and it's a really easy way to start the conversation with our prospects. So we're always learning every day on what the best sequences are. We're A/B testing, and I would love to hear from you guys. I'm here. I'm in San Diego, actually, so very, very far away from you all in Reply.io, and I don't know where everyone else is, but our business is here in San Diego, and I'd love to hear what my peers in this area are doing. And if I can learn from you, amazing. And I'm happy to share anything that we're doing with Reply.io and how it's been successful for us. If you just had any questions at all, reach out to me, please. Yeah, well, thank you so much for listening about my little story. And again, reach out if you have any questions. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Rosie. That is impressive. I mean, the numbers are really fantastic. Like cold outreach, this is something that I like everyone wish to have. Definitely. So your story is, I would say, significant without any exaggeration. Thank you so much for sharing. And we return to the slides. So Anatole talked about magic sequence. Rosie shares her story and the story of Intero Digital. And we proceed with a second. I'll bring my assistant back. Yeah. The last, but not the least, thing to talk is integrations and how critical it is to have them. Rosie mentioned that Reply has a lot to offer here, since there is the platform and there is extension that works with LinkedIn to get contact information from there. And it also works with several CRMs like Salesforce, like HubSpot and Pipedrive and Copper, just to take data from there, put it to a sequence and sync the data back. And if you don't see your specific CRM or the tool that you use in your process, you can always rely on our API. We're also present on Zapier, Integromat, and Integrately to actually connect whatever tool you have on the market and in your process. And finally, just to give you a snapshot of all the recent Reply product updates. This year, we will have a data product. We already have improved analytics, accounts, magic sequence, well, early next year, LinkedIn automation out of beta, inbox, also upcoming. Integrations became team-wide. By the way, if you're using Reply within the team, please check the new integrations, and I hope you'll be impressed what we did there. And roles and permissions, that is, this functionality came after Reply for Teams, team functionality, which is much more comprehensive and allows to set up whatever permissions for team members that you need. And again, for those of you who want to learn more about Reply new features, please use this link and book a demo. So we'll be happy to tell more about that. And yeah, that's it. thank you all so much for, just give me a second, I'll get to the final slide. Thank you so much for being with us on this webinar. I hope that it was like a bit of inspiration for what to try in the next year and what tools to implement, what features to look after. So hope to see you next time, and wishing you a great end of this year.